podcast, home of the good podcast. Can I take your order?
Here. Hey guys, notsoepicdude here. I'm here once again with, the good old man Damien.
Howdy.
Howdy. Alright, so we're back here to talk about, a pretty big controversy that, literally just happened about Dan Schneider, who is pretty popular on a little network, you might have heard of it, called, Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it's a little network. I mean, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is, though.
Yeah, you're right. So basically, he left Nickelodeon after, being on it for 24 years, which is pretty insane. He was on it longer than Butch Hartman, and that was already a huge deal. 3 huge Nickelodeon creators leaving within 3 months. It's, a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, actually. It makes me wonder who's going to get kicked off next. But let's
Find out
not think about that
next
for now.
time on Total Drama Island.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Alright, so...
Total Drama Nick Hotel.
Nick Hotel. Actually, that would be kind of cool if they did a Total Drama season, at a hotel.
Total Drama Hotel.
Or not a hotel specifically, but, I don't know. Some kind of, building specific. But anyway...
Total Drama Building.
Yeah, that.
I like it.
So, basically, we're just going to be talking about, all the shows that Dan Schneider made or, wrote on. And, literally wrote on. A picture of the show, right on. Ha ha ha, laugh track. I should probably add a laugh track. That'd be awesome.
Yes, do it, because I can't do it.
So yeah, we're just gonna be talking about his legacy and what happened and all that jazz. So I guess we can just go in order. So All That. Have you seen any of All That, Damien?
Very, very little. From what I have seen, it's a pretty enjoyable show. It's nothing monumental. It was a product of the times, I'll say that, but it's still enjoyable to go back to every now and then.
I agree with that. I didn't really watch it much until it came on the 90s or All That, which is now the Splat. So they only aired the first 4 seasons with the original cast, so I actually didn't watch any of the ones with the newer cast, which apparently aren't as good, as told by many people.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I haven't really seen that much of All That, except for a few of the early episodes.
I know there are some pretty big sketches on it. There was Good Burger and there was Ask Ashley. Was that on? Yeah, that was All That.
Yeah, it was.
Some of the sketches kind of mixed with the Amanda Show for me, which was another sketch comedy show that they had, which we'll actually be going to later. But yeah, All That made. Oh yeah, I had Cooking with Randy and Mandy. That was a good one. There was one about an island, these 2 kids on an island. Yeah, stuff like that. And then, there's the biggest one. Actually, no, Good Burger's the biggest one. But the second biggest one, which was Vital Information, that was a huge one.
Ooh, yes.
You remember that? That was on every single episode, so you better know that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so, All That was, I think it was, the biggest show in Nickelodeon at the time.
Yeah, cheap, easy to produce, and kids always watched it.
Yeah. It also, kind of started, one huge thing that Dan Schneider does is he makes spin-offs of his previous shows. And they all just kind of started with All That. All That made, 5 spin-offs. Which was a pretty big deal.
All That I can kind of... I don't know. With Dan Schneider's later shows, I don't know why he would do such a thing. Like Sam and Cat and iCarly. But All That was not a clip show, but it had mini shows inside a bigger one. So I can understand why they did it there.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think some of these mini shows should stay mini shows. I don't know what to call them.
They're called skits. Or
skits.
sketches.
Oh, idiot. Sketches, yeah. I think some of these skits are perfectly written to be skits and nothing more.
Yeah.
Like the Good Burger movie, but we can go into that at some point.
We'll talk about that pretty soon. So, yeah, it made a ton of different spin-offs, and I think the most popular people to come out of this were Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell, which actually made their own show, 2 years after All That premiered, which was called Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Kenan and Kel.
I would have never guessed.
So, have you seen any of this show?
This one, no, I skipped out on this one.
Okay, this was. Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I haven't watched very much of this show at all.
Okay. This is another show that I didn't really watch until the Splat, and I liked it. Like, I mean, I always thought it was better than like. Well, I don't know. I still prefer Drake and Josh and iCarly over it, because I watched all of them around. Actually, no, I watched Kenan and Kel after like iCarly ended. So I guess it was another show. I was like, oh, it's made by the same guy. That's why I was really into it. But it wasn't made by the same guy. He was just an executive producer for it.
Oh yeah, that.
He was a writer too. But the show was actually made by Kim Bass, which I've never heard of that person. Let me see what they're up to. They've literally just made Kenan and Kel. How nice. They all actually no. They made Sister, which I've also heard of.
Oh,
and then a few movies. Yeah. So I guess they kind of fell out of existence for Nickelodeon. But yeah, Kenan and Kel. So this was kind of cool. Like the beginning, I'm pretty sure the entire show was like actually filmed in front of a live studio audience, which like I'm sure some are, but this one actually showed it. Like they always had like an opening scene with Kenan and Kel talking to the audience, and it was all cool like that.
Was that filmed in one of the Nickelodeon studios here in Orlando, Florida?
Yeah, it was
when
filmed.
That was open.
Yeah, it was filmed there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, orange soda. You should know that. Kel's like obsessed with orange soda. That's like
for some reason.
Yeah.
It's not even. Oh shoot.
Are you about to say a stereotype?
No.
But yeah, it's orange soda.
I was gonna say something even worse, but I'll just say that. Keep that to myself.
Rated PG-13 here. Shit. Fuck. Actually, you can technically say fuck like once during a.
You can't fucking say that. This is a Christian podcast.
You can actually say fuck at least once during a PG-13 movie. I think that's what I heard. But I guess we're R now because I said it like 4 times.
In Arnold?
Rated R.
Oh, I was like, in the Arnold movie, I don't remember Arnold saying fuck, what?
Actually, Hey Arnold got away with a little bit of swearing. But not like heavy. Like, they said like crap and stuff. But anyway, alright, let's go to the next thing. Which, was actually the Good Burger movie. So, yeah.
That was a movie.
Yeah, it was definitely a movie. It was pretty good, I thought. Like, I still watch every now and then.
I know, it's enjoyable, at the very least. I just think Good Burger works better as a skit.
Yeah.
And sometimes not even as a skit that much, but hey.
Because, like, as a skit, it was kind of like a parody kind of thing. And then as a movie, it actually took itself a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, it's almost like beating a dead horse, except the horse isn't dead yet.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I don't know really why they threw in Kenan Thompson. I mean, I understand Kenan and Kel, they're like, you know, a thing. Not a thing, but a duo. You know what I mean?
A comic duo. Nickelodeon.
So, yeah, they were like the faces of Nickelodeon at the time. So, I guess it made sense throwing him in. And I guess his role was kind of interesting, but I mean, Ed is what they're all there for.
Yeah.
It was a good movie, hence the name. Mondo Burger was pretty cool.
Burger movie.
There were some cool scenes and there were some weird scenes and awkward scenes. And they were kind of like had like a little bit of like a serious thing going on with like Kel's dad.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Oh, he got me this yo-yo," and that was kind of sweet. But yeah, we're not here to review it.
It's weird. What I remember for it, it's like, here's the restaurant, here's some sort of skit, here's a mini golf course, here's a factory. It's a mess, but enjoyable at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so next is The Amanda Show. So, have you seen any of this?
Not at all.
Really? None?
Yeah, no, man.
This was actually the first Dan Schneider show I watched. I watched this before Drake and Josh and stuff.
Drake and Josh was my first, actually.
Like, I don't even know how I watched it. It was on reruns, definitely.
Tell me a bit about the Amanda Show. What's that one about?
Alright, well, it's the second spinoff from all that. And it stars Amanda Bynes, which was, like, Nickelodeon's, like, sweetheart girl for a little while there. And then look at her now. Actually, I think she's recovering a little bit now.
Actually, shoot, what'd you do?
Well, she became, like, I don't know, like a druggie or something. I don't know. She kind of fell off. It was kind of like
Television stars.
It's kind of like with Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez is okay still, I think. I hope.
Yeah, I think so.
Demi Lovato.
But yeah, Amanda Bynes was like the first one of those. But anyway, so the Amanda Show, I think it was actually a better version of all that. Like it had like more memorable skits, I thought. Like they had like that Blockbuster parody. They had Moody's Point, which was like a recurring like drama spinoff, which actually inspired Zoey 101. Fun fact. They had.
So Dan Schneider's never had an original idea. They're all spin-offs.
Based like literally. Why can't I think of any? Oh, they had the girls' room. That one was funny. I want to say Ask Ashley, but we've already established that's all that.
Right.
Well, shoot, I can't think of any, but
You know,
it was a good show.
I just went through a midlife crisis of some sort. So I'm thinking, wow, Dan Schneider. All of Dan Schneider's shows are pretty much spin-offs. So.
Yeah, like they really are.
Like the next one on our list, is it Drake and Josh? Are we not there? Are we there
Yeah,
yet?
it's Drake and Josh.
Kenan and Kel, but modern middle-class white Americans.
That happen to be stepbrothers.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. All right. So I feel like you're gonna get a lot of. I mean, I feel like you're gonna have a lot to say about this show, so I'll let you have the floor.
Please. Drake and Josh was essentially, besides Zack and Cody, was probably my favorite. I mean, my first and favorite live-action reality show on television.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what it was about it, but something about the characters of Drake and Josh and the actors that played them were really good back then.
Yeah, like this is commonly known as Dan's best work.
Oh, indeed, and the writing, pretty. Not every joke hits on the mark, but a lot of them do, and that's what really matters.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming this sort of legacy show that shows like SpongeBob are currently at. Because now you see memes of Drake and Josh everywhere now, like they're coming back. Oh boy.
Drake. And then it's like, it's the one where they're in the treehouse. I forgot how it goes. It's like,
yeah.
Why didn't you get the saw?
You were supposed to cut out the door hole.
Yeah, that one.
I did. It's right there. I drew it with a magic marker.
Love it. So yeah, like, I don't know. They had a lot of Dan's shows use like awkwardness as humor, but I think it's only worked in Drake and Josh.
Yes.
Like.
Yes, I really.
I don't even know how to describe it. Like, they're just genuinely funny jokes. You know?
Yeah, one that comes to my mind, I think it might be meme going around too, but the point where, what is it? Drake dates this teacher's daughter, then he breaks up, and the teacher hates him for a while, and that's what the entire episode is about.
Yeah.
And so she basically is the nicest teacher in school, but treats him like shit, which is so relatable to so many people, including me. But
do you have a favorite episode from the show?
Oh, too many to count, man. Oof.
Just name a few.
Oof. The one with the game sphere, where they went weeks without eating food, sweets, or playing video games.
Oh yeah.
And they both affected them negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Or the one episode where, Josh orders an online date or something, and then Drake ends up dating her, and then they had to get out of this whole fiasco where they're married or something. I don't know.
What?
They're all
I don't remember
pretty,
that.
pretty good episodes. But that's why I also liked it, because they're also, some of them were oddball, sort of, not life, slice of life show activities, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the movie, I think the movie, fucking Josh runs over Oprah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as one of my favorites.
Was that the movie? Should we talk about the movies?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But another one of my favorites is the Drake and Josh in episode. I freaking love that episode. Do you remember that?
Wait, which one was it?
It's the one where Drake and Josh, they buy like that robot or something. It was worth like $1,000, so they have to like get the money back by opening up a bed and breakfast, and then like people from like MTV
yes.
come in there. That's a great episode.
Is that the one they steal their furniture or something?
No. That's the one with
The fake grills.
the fake girls. No, that was where they're like, "Hey, you want to have a reality show in your house?"
Oh no, yeah, no, I remember now.
Yeah. And then another one of my favorites, which I actually think most people hate this one, but I really like it. It was the Peruvian puff pepper one.
The Peruvian puff pepper.
That's like the best.
Yeah.
Like Megan's like, oh my god, fucking Megan. We'll talk about that in a second. But that's like the best Megan episode, I think. Like the best form of Megan actually winning. The rest of them
because
have
other times she's cynical or something.
Yeah.
But that one episode is where you really feel that she deserves the victory. You're rooting for the bad guy, quote unquote.
True. And then another one is the Demonator.
Yes, the Demonator. Where they leave. What is it? Is it their grandpa or the grandmother who has like World War II flashbacks?
Yeah, it was the grandpa.
Yes. with they're two friends that show up sometimes. Oh, I forget their names.
Craig and Eric.
Craig and Eric, yes. Oh, that was a good episode. I think it was the first episode.
That was the first episode? I thought that was like towards the end.
Okay, never mind then.
Oh. And then, okay, last one. I just remember this one. It was the one where they have like the power outage, and they all have to like hang out, and then they sing like "We Will Rock You."
Yeah, I don't know why that one wasn't really funny to me, but it always sticks out in my head with because it was something memorable. I don't know, something about everybody joining and singing. Maybe I was just a stupid kid, but I just kind of liked it.
It's just a really cool concept. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like being stuck in a house without doing something like, oh, here's a clip show, or here's past memories, or here's something that has nothing to do with the current situation.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I just want to talk about like Megan real quick. Most people hate Megan, and I can really see that, but like she's probably one of the best like sibling antagonists, because like, you know, sibling rivalries are like something in like, it's kind of a cliche now, but I think like they kind of handled hers pretty well. Like she was literally like an evil genius, and it was played off really well.
She was fucking insane. Like this one episode where I think Drake and Josh go into their Megan's room, and she's got a TV system, cameras all over the place. Like she's a stalker, she's a evil genius. Like what the?
Yeah. All right. So now we'll talk about.
It's always like that about.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the movies now?
Oh sure. Yeah.
So there were 3 of them. We'll talk about the Hollywood one first. Do you remember the Hollywood? I don't remember very much about this one.
Is that the first big movie where they take the wrong plane? They go into the. Yeah, Megan takes the wrong plane. Yeah, I remember that one quite a bit.
Okay. And then like she was in like this really luxurious hotel and had like people doing stuff for her, and then Drake and Josh get mugged or something.
Yeah, they get mugged. No, they don't. Yeah, they get mugged, and then they find a money printing factory or bad guys printing money or something.
Yeah.
And then I think that's where they got the car and they performed on TV, all in one day, or a few days, whatever.
They got a car and performed.
But no, I thought that was pretty fun, in my opinion. I'd have to watch it again.
I thought the one where they performed on TV was Really Big Shrimp.
Was it? Oh, maybe I'm getting mixed up.
Are you talking about the one where Josh has like that new song? Not Josh. Drake has like that new song.
Yeah, I think that was the first movie because it wasn't after they bust the guys for printing money. Don't they get a police escort to like the studio or something?
I don't know. I mean, Go Hollywood was 2006, and then Really Big Shrimp was 2007. Which,
Really Big Shrimp is actually one I don't remember. Can you?
okay, Really Big Shrimp was where Drake gets like a recording deal, and then like it's like this song, but then like they like mix it up, or they have no they like make it like auto tuned and stuff, and he doesn't like that, so he has to like get out of the recording deal. And then there's like a marriage or something at the premiere, which was the movie theater. And
Was
then
that
like
between Helen and someone else?
it was Helen. And then like she had to
Okay.
like stay at no the grandmother had to stay at Drake and Josh's house. And then
That one I vaguely remember, but for some reason I feel like it was an episode.
and
I'd have to
then
rewatch that one.
it was technically an episode, but it was an hour long, so I just kind of counted it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was the series finale too. Um, and so like, and then they have okay. So then Drake finally gets the song that he wanted on it, but then the recording artists are like, "Oh, this is actually really good. We made a mistake." So everything's cool with that, and then, um, they have the wedding, and then Drake plays on like the back of a truck,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it all ends, and then they fight over shrimp.
Yeah. It's coming back to me now, little by little.
All right. So yeah, that was one. That was the finale of the show. But then iCarly started, but we'll get into that in a minute. Um,
One thing I want to touch on real quick
Hmm.
is the Christmas movie. Did that come out after
Yeah.
the finale?
yeah, that's what I'm about to start talking about. That was the reunion movie.
Okay.
This came out
Which was
like
what, like a
after.
year or two
Yeah,
after?
it was 2008. So this
Okay.
came out after iCarly was also already a thing, and it was technically a reunion because the show ended development in like 2006. So yeah.
I can't tell you how hyped I was for that movie when I
Me
heard
too.
it was coming.
This was actually the only Drake and Josh thing I watched like when it came out.
Like, yeah, it was okay. I can't remember too much about it except they take care of these orphans. Which,
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in years. Oh my god. Okay, so so Josh's girlfriend Mindy goes away for the movie. I remember that. And then
Oh yeah,
Drake and
so the
Josh get
parents, they
like
go on vacation or something.
yeah, so does the parents. So Drake and Josh they get like arrested with the police. Um and then they're like, "Oh no, we don't want to get arrested." So they're like, "All right, then be the foster parents for these kids over the holidays." And then they are.
Which never made any sense to me. Like, is that community service? Do you put your
Yeah.
criminals with foster kids? Like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't think that was very safe.
Hey, we got Jimmy with the homicide. He's gonna be instead of taking him to jail for 20 years, we're gonna cut him down to a night.
What else? Oh yeah, and then like, then the kids find out that they were just doing it for the thing, and that then they think that they don't really like them, so they don't help them. But then they win this guy's trust, who is like messing with them by giving him like a monkey, like he wanted when he was
Monkey.
little. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a little part of it, and then oh yeah, I think like Megan. I remember Megan had like a helicopter or something. Not a helicopter. She had like a drone, but it was before drones were like big.
I'm telling you, this girl's an evil genius.
Yeah, she was ahead of her time.
And then they made her stupid and iCarly. Well, not stupid, but you know.
They just made her. They really changed her character in that, but it's also like a different show, so can't really compare.
Sure.
But we're actually not going into iCarly yet. We're gonna start talking about Zoey 101 now.
Ooh.
So, how much of this have you seen?
Not much, but I mean, I have seen a little bit. My mom generally didn't really put it on because, hey, it's girl. That's a girl show.
I think a long time ago I just like binge watched the entire first season because it was on like Amazon Prime for free.
Mhm.
That was like 8th or 7th grade. But I don't. All I remember is that Zoey moves to London. Chase follows her, but then Zoey moves back. That's all I remember from the show.
Was that the final episode, or was the
That's
final episode like?
It was probably like towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was an episode. It was in season 2 called Time Capsule. It's where Zoey puts like something into like a time capsule. Oh, she makes a DVD about her life at PCA. And then
Yeah, and didn't she give a note too?
yeah,
Or
and then
that
she was
something
like,
else?
"I'll let you know in 10 years." And then that was in September of 2005. And then 10 years later they actually like did a revival, which was pretty crazy actually.
Oh, I thought it was really great.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
Like
Dan was still at the business to do that. But,
yeah, like him leaving actually closes like a ton of options, which I thought were eventually going to happen. But we're going to get to that. So yeah, like the short I really don't remember much except for that. And I feel like what I talked about was like towards the end of the show.
yeah.
But yeah, it was really different for a Dan Schneider show. Like it wasn't a comedy. It wasn't a sketch comedy. It was like actually like
drama.
a drama. Like yeah, teen drama.
Before Degrassi or whatever.
Apparently, Zoey 1-to-1 was the most expensive production ever for Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Ow.
Because it was like it was shot entirely in Malibu.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a problem. You could have
Actually-
made a Malibu set, but hey, they went the extra mile.
True.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because I think it was literally filmed at like some boarding school.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I don't know what else I can say. I don't know much. One of the shows or one of the characters. This is the last spinoff from all that because Jamie Lynn Spears, who plays Zoey, was from all that. That last thing. And then from Drake and Josh, Megan ends up making her own show, and then from Zoey 101, shit, what was her name? Victoria Justice from that show ended up making her own show. All right, so next is one of the biggest ones, which is Live Life, Breathe Air. I know somehow.
How we gonna get there?
Hell yeah. And be
So
so wonderful.
Ding ding dong.
Ding ding dong. Ding dong.
This was actually a really big show of my childhood too.
Yeah, me too. I can talk about this for a lot. All right, iCarly, which was probably more successful than Drake and Josh was. It has the most seasons of a Nick sitcom. It has the most episodes. Actually, no, it doesn't because it didn't reach 100, which I'm pretty sure the Thundermans is about to reach 100.
Yeah.
But it is a very long Nick sitcom. It lasted from 2007 to 2012, which, yeah,
5 years.
is a while. Yeah, and I think Henry
Heck of a
Danger
lot.
is about to reach that.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, because that started 2014.
It was a heck of a lot longer than Drake and Josh, because I think Drake and Josh only had about over 50 episodes.
Yeah, I think it just had like a normal 3-season, 50 episodes or whatever kind of run.
Yeah, which is weird when you think back to it. You think, hey, maybe it was 100 or something like that. Yeah, no, not really.
But yeah, with iCarly, I'm pretty sure I've seen every single episode. Maybe there's like a few.
Same.
I think there's like a few later on that I didn't see. Like probably from like the last 2 or 3 seasons, I didn't see all of them, but I still saw most of them. First of all, I want to talk about. Yeah, I want to talk about.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. I want to talk about the premise. Like that's something I hear a lot of people talking about. Like it had a really good premise, but a lot of people didn't think it was executed very well.
I say it was before its time, because generally the premise of iCarly is there's these two kids and they have the internet show. Of course YouTube existed then, and of course they had YouTubers, so to say, like Smosh and Fred. Actually, I don't think...
Fred.
Yeah, Smosh was in.
Yeah, Smosh was there.
Fred. Oof. I can't remember if any other. I can't remember any others to be honest, but those were some of the two biggest
Yeah.
inspirations. In fact, Fred was in an episode, and it was
Yeah.
actually a pretty terrible episode. But hey, maybe we'll touch on that.
Yeah, like I think what most people think with the unrealistic part is because like within the first 5 episodes they already reached like 1 million viewers.
They didn't expect the series to last that long, did they?
Yeah, I guess not. Like I think it would have flowed a lot well if they like slowly got more and more successful, you know? Like maybe by like the end of season 1 they would have like 1 million. Even that's kind of out there. But
500,000 depends on if the series is going to continue or not.
yeah.
One thing we didn't bring up was that this wasn't just Megan's show. This was also Crazy Steve's show.
Correct. Yeah.
Jerry Trainer.
Yeah, Jerry Trainer. He went from iCarly. No, he went from Drake and Josh to iCarly as well. And then there's like this really cool
total shift in character.
Yeah, literally. There was like a really cool fan theory I saw, and it was like Crazy Steve kidnapped Megan and like moved her to Seattle and made her force like to change her name. I love that.
Forced her to change her name, hypnotized her for her to forget everything.
And make up some lie with a girl that they've been friends for like 10 years.
I'm your brother. I promise.
I'm trying to think of some episodes I really liked. I really liked the one where they had the 50th web show in detention.
Yes, I remember that one.
The pie episode. Great episode.
Do you remember the episode where they snuck into their teacher's house? And there's like... they go
Randy
into the
Jackson.
closet. Yes. Yeah, for some reason, Randy Jackson, much like Oprah in the first one, had like a cardboard cutout. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I kind of
see where
wish
you're
the
going with
whole...
this.
I really wish the whole Randy Jackson thing became a running joke, like Oprah. That would have been funny.
I don't know, that episode kind of spoke to me so well because I had this 8th grade teacher, and she just had like a huge cardboard cutout of, what was his name? From Pirates of the Caribbean.
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp. She had a cardboard cutout of Johnny Depp in the front of the class. Like, okay, I don't know what this has to do with history, but I mean, okay.
He's a big part of history. You shut up.
Yeah, making one good movie, but being a pretty good actor.
Oh, that's a roast. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. We can talk about the whole Freddy and Sam love arc.
You know what? Instead of that, let's focus on the love arc, or no, how they tried to do love as a whole in this show, because it was like the first and second season, everybody wanted to get with Carly for some reason.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
get it, she's a girl, and it's a sitcom on a kid's show, but, you know, some of it was just weird.
Yeah, and then after that, everyone wanted to get with Freddy. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can get if you have the two, which was Freddy, Sam. If you just focus on them, yeah, that's fine. And maybe a few characters in there for another plot. But it's like the Fred episode. It was like, for some reason, he's like, "Will you kiss me if I do this?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." That came out of nowhere. But like characters like Neville, who sort of need that, you know.
Yeah. God, fucking Neville. So really quickly, do you want to go through the movies that they had real quick? There are a ton of them, but we can just quickly go through them.
The one I remember the most, and the one I had the most fun with, was Japan, Tokyo.
Yeah, that was also the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to
I
Japan.
remember
That's.
watching the premiere.
I think I did too. That was a great episode. It's just like, they really set up Japan as like a foreign place really well. They were like, oh, we don't know what's going on here. I think it was pretty good.
They jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Like to get there. Like, that's great.
That was in like a ton of the advertisements. I remember that. They were like, oh, watch as they jump off a plane and I go to Japan.
I just like those little things, you know. It's got that little Dan Schneider writing. You know, this isn't as it seems.
Yeah.
Drake and Josh, she just goes on a plane, goes to California. iCarly, she jumps out of a fucking plane full of livestock.
Well, actually, there was a Drake and Josh episode where they jumped off a helicopter, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was the premise of a whole episode. I remember that.
Yeah. Um.
Oh, and they kill the two. No, they don't kill, but they knock out the two or one pilot that was on it.
Oh yeah. I was trying to
Okay,
think
sorry.
of that from iCarly, but no, yeah, that was Drake and Josh. Yeah. In iCarly, they had that guy named Freight Dog, who was like obsessed with salami or whatever, or pepperoni. It's
Yeah.
pepperoni.
Pepperoni, yeah.
Hold my pepperoni stick. It's that random Dan Schneider humor that really like made the shows.
Indeed.
So next was I Date a Bad Boy. Do you remember anything about this? I just remember the Pee Wee babies.
Yeah, that's what I was. Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. Wait, is it really called I Did a Bad Boy? What?
Yeah, it's kind of clickbaity.
God damn it.
So,
I thought it was called I Date a Bad Boy, not I Did. What the fuck?
No, it's I Date.
Oh, I thought you said I did. I was like, what?
No, what the fuck?
I was like, Nick? I don't think Dan Schneider went that far. I mean,
I Did a Bad Boy's feet.
okay, that was Dan Schneider.
Well, we'll get to the conspiracies later. All right, I fight Shelby Marks.
That was a weird one, but yeah, it was enjoyable. I remember that one.
Yeah, this one had
That
Victoria
was,
Justice.
Victoria Justice
Yes, sir.
was Shelby Marks, yeah.
So that was kind of a cool little crossover. That was right before Victorious aired, so they probably advertised her from Zoey 101 at the time.
Yeah, got her a big name.
Okay, next was I Quit iCarly. I didn't like this one. It was just they quit, and this was when like Carly and Sam became like not friends, and it was like not good. I didn't like this one at all.
I don't remember that one that much.
They had they were fighting over like these two other guys, and it was like, oh, which one was funny or something. No, that was the first
Oh
one.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. It was like which one. Oh, it was about like a car, and they were like which one, because one of them like spray painted a car. They're like, oh, which one was innocent? It was something like that. It was dumb.
Generally, I'm not too big of a fan when it comes to like the two main characters fighting each other and then getting back together
Yeah.
again at the end.
It's because like I feel like
unless
they
you're gonna
have
do
more
something
of
with
a.
it, then don't do it.
Yeah, it's because like usually the main characters are set up to be like best friends, so it's like why would they have them fight like that?
Like, I'm not opposed to the idea, but if you're not going to go anywhere with it, and you're just going to let them get back together at the end, then why bother?
Yeah.
Of course, you can let them get back together. It's just the way you do it, not in the same episode or something. That's just an idea thrown in there.
Next was I Saved Your Life, which I remember this one very well. This one, everyone was like so excited for.
Oh my God! Did Freddy kiss Carly?
Yeah, this was like still during that time.
Oh
Actually,
my
no,
God,
this was
she
kind of.
kissed him again?
Actually, this was kind of the first
And
time
again.
that Dan Schneider kind of went on the whole shipper train.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's a lot more of it later in the show. But yeah, so Freddy saves Carly, and they kiss, and then Sam... No. And then Freddy's like, I'm just bacon, and then they break up. Remember that?
Yeah. I'm just bacon. What a guy, that Freddy.
Yeah.
I think he's married now. Off topic.
Yeah, I think they had like a small reunion at Freddy's marriage. Cause like all of the main cast went. How cute.
Hello, new wife. Check out my two exes.
Totally.
And then what's her name? Carly. Carly's actor. I forgot.
Wait, who?
She just. Carly's
Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah, Miranda Cosgrove. She just like scoots over to Freddy's wife and says, "If he says bacon, that's the code to get out of the house."
Yeah. Okay, so next up was I Psycho. Do you
Is that
remember
the
this
one
one?
where Freddy kissed Sam because Sam had mad tear gas or something? Not tear gas.
No, that was just a regular episode. That was I think they
Oh,
kissed. I Psycho is when they get like they go to Webicon, but then they get kidnapped by that girl Nora.
oh yeah, and then Jack Black's there because he was
No,
the host
no,
of the Kids Book Sports.
no, 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 no. That was
That
that was
was,
another one.
oh no, I get you. They're trapped at Nora's house for the
Yeah,
entire episode. I got you. They
yeah.
try to
Well,
escape.
they go for like her birthday party because they send him like a message and they're like, "Oh, we're going to Webicon anyway. Let's just stop by." Okay,
Yeah,
this episode was legitimately psychotic. Like
yeah.
a clown
I could
has
be
like
lying
an
if I said it didn't
aneurysm.
scare me yet a bit.
A clown literally has an aneurysm. It's kind of fucked.
this was an episode where I was like, huh, this is a show.
Yeah. Um. Okay, next was I Start a Fan War. This was, this was like the big, like shipping episode. This kind of addressed all of the online shippers.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I think I remember.
Credit, Saturday. You know that kind of stuff. And then Carly was
Yeah.
like had like her boyfriend at the time come to the show, and he was just like, "What the fuck."
What is this shit?
There was a pretty good episode. I think that's the one with Jack Black. Trying to
It
think.
might have been. I might have been. Or it
Trying
might have been a regular episode. I don't remember.
to think, cause no, there were two I Psycho episodes, but like I don't remember if he was in that one or that one.
Jack Black was in the one where he and Jerry Trainer, forgot his name, Spencer, they fight at like an anime con or something like that.
Yeah,
Dungeons and
that was I
Dragons.
Start a Fan War. Okay, I just looked it up. Yeah, it was for like World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
World of Warlords. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, his reference was kind of small, not reference appearance, but you know, it was still a cool little detail. So next was the second hour and a half episode, which was I Party with Victorious. It was a crossover.
Yeah, but did you have to revolve around the boy? I mean, come on.
Wait, what?
I Party with Victorious.
Wait, no, like, what do you say?
Like, did they have to have it revolve around the boy again?
Oh.
They could have.
Yeah,
They had. I don't know.
that's a trend with iCarly episodes, it seems like.
Very much. Like,
Yeah.
you think about it. There's the bad boy. There's. I don't know if you would count Neville. There's. I don't know if you would count Fred. Freddy. The guy and I start a fan war.
Yeah.
And 50 others.
Bad boy.
Yeah. I said that.
Oh, my
But
bad.
no, this. Other than that, though, I think this episode was pretty alright. It was pretty enjoyable for what it was.
Yeah, and it had Kenan Thompson. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was like a little Dan Schneider reunion.
Wish I could have got Drake and Josh, but at least Drake can show up in one episode.
Yeah. He was also in a Victoria's episode, but beside that, yeah, it was good. They had like the theme song crossover. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, that's basically it about that. The next one, which was I think the only one I've never seen, is I Still Psycho.
Let's go back. I just want to go back to I Party with Victorious real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, just one thing I wanted to point out. What's your thoughts on what do you think about Spencer spending most of the entire episode in a hot tub with like 3 other Victorious characters?
Oh yeah, that was pretty
What do you
cool.
think about that?
There was a foot joke in that episode.
Of course, there had to be. It's a hot tub.
Yeah, like Spencer like pulls out a foot. I'm pretty sure, and then Psychowitz is like, "What?" I love Psychowitz.
Wood. Okay, anyways, you were saying the next movie?
I Still Psycho. I don't remember this one at all. I'm looking it up right now. It's about like Nora having a parole hearing about like the kidnapping.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember this one.
Yeah, me
Eh,
neither. I don't think I've seen this one. This
sounds
is
like
one
a
of the few
one-off thing.
episodes I didn't watch. So yeah, I don't know what else I can say about that. The next one was I Shock America. This one was not good.
Yeah, hey, guy. Okay, I just want to say, Dan, feed is your thing, I get it. But if you want to shock America, there are so many different ways to do so. Showing your dick on TV isn't a way to do it. Like,
At least it
in
wasn't
a
feet
kid's
though.
show.
Like
No, I bet I would have actually been better if it was feet. Because,
they could
well,
show
I
that.
don't know. A dick you can't really see it on screen, so
Yeah.
maybe. But a feet you can, so.
Mm-hmm.
This episode just wasn't good overall. It was just, yeah.
It was just kind of like, what were they on? Were they on Jimmy Fallon?
I don't remember what show. It might have
some
been a
talk
fake
show.
reality show. Can't remember.
Yeah, but yeah. So they were on some reality show, and that was cool. But like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I watched this one when it came out. I think like towards the last season of iCarly, they were like, "Oh, the final episodes." So I was like, "Oh shoot, I gotta watch them all." So I watched like the first 3, then I stopped, and then I watched the finale.
Me too.
So yeah, this was the first one of the last season, and yeah, it wasn't
What a
special.
way to start.
Yeah. All right, so now we get to the last one, which was I Goodbye. Um, this was
Pretty heartfelt
sad.
goodbye.
Yeah, this was a very good episode.
And you think about it too, because that's actually something that applies to real life. Because you see everybody on YouTube nowadays, they have millions of subscribers, or they've been at it for like 10 years. They're not going to be doing that their entire life. They're not going to keep getting donations or get paid by YouTube enough, to sustain themselves, and they got to move on at some point.
Yeah.
So I just felt like this was a good way to address it. Carly goes off to college. She's off to do better things with her life.
Was it
And-
college?
Was she going to Harvard or something with her dad? Or she was going somewhere.
From what I remember, her dad. Okay, that was a big part already. They actually finally showed her dad after the entire series. And then he came for like the father-daughter dance, and then while he was there, he was like, "Hey, Carly, why don't you come live with me in Italy?" I don't think it had to do with school at all,
Oh, okay.
because they were still in high school. At this point, they were probably like juniors or seniors, though. So, but
Yeah.
they didn't mention college. I'm pretty sure.
But like, man, this is a pretty good episode to me.
Yeah, it was really sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it was good. It was all emotional. And then of course they had to start teasing at Sam and Cat, so they had Sam get her motorcycle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, goodbye, our Carly. I remember years and years of me sending in videos, thinking I would show up in the end credits.
God, they had that for like the first 2 seasons, and I think they stopped it.
Yeah.
So really quickly, the love triangle thing. It was bad, but it was cool that they had it because it's something that the fans really wanted. I know Dan didn't want the show to become that, but
That's what it did, but hey,
Yeah.
if the fans enjoyed it,
it added a
They're
little
the
bit
winner.
of it added a little bit of story, so you can't complain.
yeah, if the people like it, then you can't really, I don't know. If they enjoyed it, that's all that matters. Happiness is global.
Yeah. So iCarly was, without a doubt, like Dan Schneider's most popular show. Even if it was
Oh, yes,
very good or
without a
bad, it definitely got the most ratings, at the very least.
And he never reached that stardom ever again. Anyways.
So next up was Victorious, the spinoff of Zoey 101.
Zoey 101 too.
Yeah, except this one had more comedy.
Yeah.
Um,
Zoey 101 wasn't the best show, but yeah, I have fond memories of it.
So unlike iCarly, I actually haven't seen all of these. episodes. I've seen like the first 2 seasons, then I didn't see after that much.
I've seen a few, but I do gotta say the overall premise was pretty enjoyable. Like these are kids in art college, and I don't know if you've ever been to an art college, or a music college, or performing arts. That's what it is.
Was it college or high school?
It was college, I think.
Was it? I remember it was called
Yeah.
Hollywood Arts, at least. I don't remember if it was high school or college.
Anything you want. Elementary school, that's what it was. But you know, adults, people at performing arts schools are really extravagant. Not as extravagant as at the schools, but they certainly do have personalities, and I have first accounts of this. I actually was there a few times myself. That's a cool premise.
Mm-hmm. I did really enjoy this. At some points, like I watched these as they were airing. At some points, I actually preferred Victorious over iCarly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I liked the beginning of iCarly, and then I started watching Victorious, and then I made this like my priority, and then when iCarly was ending, I was like, oh shoot, gotta watch the new season. So yeah. There were some good episodes. There was one episode that really stuck out for me, and it was the one where they're trapped in the RV.
That's the episode that's been in my mind since we started this podcast. I'm like, yeah, we gotta
Really?
talk about this one. Yes.
Oh. And the one where they're trying to find the ice cream for Kesha.
That one I vaguely remember.
That was
And the foot.
really good.
Oh god, the foot and the fish.
Wait, what?
You remember that episode? It's an episode entirely focused around feet, as Dan Schneider is known as.
Oh boy.
But it's like Tori's sister gets a whole bunch of like illegal fish.
Oh!
And so the fish eat all the dead
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
I remember this. I remember that. Yep, that was interesting.
It's not Drake soaking his foot in lizard piss from Drake and Josh, but I mean it is something else.
And then one more I really liked was the one where they're like start a ping pong club just to like get money so they can have like a fancy dinner. And then like Robbie buys caviar, which was like super expensive. You know?
Yeah. And then they have to work in the sushi conveyor belt or something.
No, that was Drake and Josh. They had to like perform. Drake and Josh was where they had the sushi one.
It's all Drake and Josh.
So yeah. What about you? Do you remember any?
The RV one again. I just really, I don't know why that one really sticks out for me, but it really does. Like, where they have to share a bottle cap of water, and that just always stuck out to me. Like, holy shit, what if I was in this situation?
Yeah. But overall, Victorious was like, it was good, but it was slightly less memorable than some of his other shows. There were only a few really good ones.
I think one of its main purposes was like to combat Disney's, music-oriented shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, this is one of Nickelodeon's first.
Yeah, well, they had a trend for a while where they did a lot of music shows. Like, they had Big Time Rush, they had Naked Brothers Band, they had Victorious.
Oh, shit.
They had How to Rock.
Frick, I forgot. But yeah.
Yeah. So
I think this was probably their final attempt, besides Big Time Rush. I don't know if that came after.
Big Time Rush ended 2013 with, like, literally the same time as Victorious.
Oh, it was at the same time.
Yeah, they got canceled together. And in my opinion, this was the last, like, really good Dan Schneider show, I think. After this, I don't think he made very good stuff. And even at the time, everyone really, like, when iCarly was still airing, I always heard a lot of complaints about it, but now I hear just, like, praise. You know?
I heard a lot more complaints about Victorious than iCarly, but exactly.
I guess it's just, like, time.
I've caught it a couple times, yeah.
Or I guess, like, as the standards are lowered, people enjoy the mediocre more. Like, who knows? Maybe in 10 years, everyone will praise Henry Danger.
Good luck with that one.
Um, but yeah, so next up was Sam and Cat, which was a spin-off of both iCarly and Victorious. Took two characters, Sam from iCarly and Cat from Victorious.
This is Dan Schneider's first time actually doing a spin-off.
Yeah, like
that
a
wasn't
full-on spin-off.
just with the actors. Yeah, took the two universes and put them together.
Yeah.
Universes, worlds, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or characters.
It had some problems.
It had a lot of problems.
It was just
like, the main two actresses hating each other, so they had to end the show.
That was later on, but yeah, it was just so mean-spirited, and I feel like they always got away with bad stuff. Like when they they left okay, so the show was a babysitting show. It was very much like Jessie, which is a Disney Channel show.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I remember one episode where they left their kids at some cemetery or something because they were misbehaving, and I was like, "What the fuck?" That was crazy.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'd leave my kids with them.
Yeah. I think it started off pretty well. Like the first two episodes I really liked, but then the Brit Brats. That was one of the earlier ones. They had these two characters, and I think they were guest stars.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all snooty, and I was like,
yeah. When you're working with kid actors, you got to be really, really specific and careful with what you do with them. Because you're not always going to have a stellar performance, or you're not always going to have a kid that can perform and act the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be simplified a bit, to my knowledge. And, sometimes you can get good performances or absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm. But despite the show having a lot of problems, the show actually got really good ratings, especially compared to his shows now. Because his shows now hardly get 1 million, but the show managed to maintain 3 million each episode.
I think part of it had to do with Ariana Grande's rising stardom.
Yeah. Yeah, she started really becoming very popular during this, and now she's kind of irrelevant again. Not gonna lie, but this is when she got really popular. So yeah. Do you remember any episodes? I actually don't remember any. I just remember the first two.
It really wasn't as memorable as iCarly, Victorious, Drake and Josh, and whatnot. But...
I do remember. There was one that had it was a movie episode. I'm pretty sure, and it had Freddie from iCarly, and then Jade from Victorious. Yeah, they had guest stars.
Yeah, that one doesn't come to mind. But then again, I didn't really pay attention to Sam and Cat for as long as I did.
It was literally an entire episode about jumping the shark.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember that one.
Okay.
For some reason.
I love it. They literally jumped the shark. And, I mean, the show was still bad anyway. So they already did jump the shark. Maybe it was Dan Schneider hinting to Nickelodeon.
Yes. He knew.
Yeah. What
Alright, so
else?
it's all downhill from here. Let's go.
Yeah. So next is Henry Danger, which could be considered a spin-off of Victorious, but for the most part it's a brand new show. I say a spin-off from Victorious because it had the character who plays as Captain Man was a side character or something from Victorious.
Yeah.
That's where I get that from. So this was actually a joint show between Dan Schneider and some other guy, Dan Olsen. I've never heard of them. And this is actually still going on. And it's pretty popular. It's not nearly as popular as his other shows, but it's really popular for Nickelodeon right now. It's their it's their biggest show right now. And it's not terrible. It's definitely a step up from Sam and Cat, but it's not as good as Victorious or iCarly.
I personally don't like this show at all.
I'm actually in the process right now of watching it. I'm rewatching season 2 right now. I watched season 1 as it aired back in the day as in 3 to 4 years ago. But season 2 I'm just now watching. I don't know if it gets better later on or worse. It probably gets worse, honestly, but yeah, it's at 4 seasons right now, and it's about to it's about to reach iCarly levels, which is pretty crazy. Because it started 2014 and we're in 2018 right now.
Hmm. Here's something. One of the key features of Dan Schneider shows was the whimsicalness that you would never find in some of these normal sort of what should we call it, areas or something like that. Like in Drake and Josh, it's your everyday, these are two brothers, but you would never expect them to jump out of a plane and have this much fun, or Megan to be a super genius.
Mm.
iCarly was a web show. You didn't expect all things like jumping out of a plane again, but livestock or having all this drama. When you have all that whimsicalness and you put the main focus of Dan Schneider's show, you're gonna run out of ideas. You're gonna have troubles at some point. Like, it's like a mix between the two, but because it's focused more on the whimsicalness, it just comes off as it's part of the show. It's not that enjoyable when it happens.
Mm. Yeah, like, I think just, like, the show kind of takes itself a little bit seriously. Like, I see some moments where it's kind of serious. But the show does overuse the laugh track, like most of his shows. But, I don't know, I hate the characters. I hate how, like, everyone's obsessed with Henry.
I hate the characters, and I feel bad about this. I'm pretty sure the actors are good people, but I don't like the actors' characters at all.
Yeah.
The way they portray them sometimes.
Like, Jace Norman, who plays as Henry, is actually pretty nice. Like, he's like an entrepreneur
I'm pretty
now.
sure they're good people, and they have a lot of fun doing these roles. I can tell. It's just the characters, the way they're written, the material they're given. Some of the ways they execute them just don't really appeal to me that much.
I think it's different when you're actually like filming stuff. Like, I think things since you're actually doing it seems better. Honestly,
Oh no, it's a lot more fun to film than it is to watch something bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I even think of a single episode? Can you think of any episodes?
Was this the one where there was a Mario game? No, I can't think of a single episode. Oof.
All I remember.
I guess it was a show to combat Disney's Lab Rats or something that was going around at the time.
Hmm.
And then again, Lab Rats wasn't very good at all either. But
I just remember one episode where like, it had like a giant baby in it. That might have been like the first episode.
maybe.
I also remember.
Do you think we're sort of biased towards iCarly and Drake and Josh and whatnot because we grew
it's
up
definitely
during those
because
times?
like that's what I'm saying. In 10 years, people might actually be praising this show, just because it's what they grew up with.
No, but the real question I want to ask you is, when we look back at iCarly and Drake and Josh, do you think the production value, or not the production value, just overall, judge it as a product, do you think it's actually better than Henry Danger, or do you think Henry Danger is along those lines?
Well, Henry Danger is like a superhero show, so he uses a lot more effects. So I guess Henry Danger is better.
Guess I'll have to wait 10 years. Look forward to that episode of the podcast.
Hell yeah. I also remember one other thing. It was like Henry started dating like some like supervillain, and like then she got in trouble with the police. But then she's like, "Oh, Henry, be bad with me," something like that.
Yeah, not a single episode comes to my mind.
There was one really cool bit that they did. They had like a parody of Kanye West, and this was back before Kanye West really became a huge meme. But like, because this was 2015, and it was Kanye West being like, "I'm a genius," and I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's all I remember from that.
I'm sure there's some gems of Henry Danger I haven't seen. It hasn't really convinced me to give it a shot. And I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. So next we're gonna go into Game Shakers, which is the worst one.
The worst.
Yeah.
Hands down, the worst.
I was so excited for this show because Kel Mitchell was coming back. Everyone was calling it like a spinoff of Kenan Kel, the one we've all been waiting for.
Nope.
Well, yeah, it was technically a spinoff, but that didn't excuse it from being good. From being bad, I mean. Let's
talk about the premise at first and how much we hate it, because these kids, they're essentially making games for iPhones.
They're gamers.
iPhone games. They're the real gamers. You and I, what are we? I mean, sure, if you want to make them make games that are just... iPhone games in general, mobile games, they're just looked upon as simple little things to distract you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really make a whole show about making those, because it's like, here's a show this guy made of Flappy Bird. You just tap the screen and jump. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like the premise is as bad as... Okay, like, it's kind of similar to iCarly. Like, it had like a good premise, just not executed well. Except iCarly has the excuse of actually having good episodes.
Yeah.
This doesn't.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because the main reason why I was getting a little upset with the iPhone idea is because the mobile games are generally the games they make are just pointless.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you get a little creative with some of the games they made and sort of made that part of the episode and just instead of them, because like iCarly, you experience the web show. What do you do in Game Shakers? You just look at an image or say that they made it.
Well, actually, I remember like when the show first came out, they were like, "Oh yeah, in every game that's released that's shown on Game Shakers will be released." And I don't know if that actually held up, but I know a few of them did release. Like Skywell actually was like popular. Like that was like #1 in the charts when that first came out.
Yeah, but that's not part of the show. If we're talking about the show.
Yeah, but like,
and
I don't know. They kind of coincided. The show a
giant commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's actually kind of true. Maybe it's like supposed to be like those like 80s show cartoons to like advertise a toy.
It's The Wizard, but a series essentially.
Yeah, one cool thing that I thought that they had was they had an episode. It was literally about the two main girls like being obsessed with iCarly, and they were like into like the whole shipping thing, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna..." Okay, I knew before this even aired that this was gonna be huge clickbait. They were like, "Oh, find out who Freddie really loved, Sam or Carly," but they didn't say so, and I knew it. I knew they weren't going to.
Because they're fans of iCarly, they're gonna get them back, you know?
Yeah.
It's like if that one cameo that they did of Drake and iCarly, if they just showed Drake's face in like the promo videos, which I'm sure they did, that would have gotten at least a couple more views, a couple hundred more.
Yeah.
Ratings.
But that's the only episode I remember except for the first one.
Yeah. The character very unlikable too.
Kel Mitchell had so much potential, but he's kind of a shitty character.
Yeah, it's the material they're given, it's just not good at all.
Yeah.
And Nickelodeon do that too, because this is the only show that Nickelodeon decided to cancel. Because Henry Danger is still continuing on without Dan Schneider until season 5, and it's on season 3 now?
Yeah, this show actually just got canceled with Dan Schneider leaving, and it's on 4 right now.
Oh, 4? Okay.
No, Henry Danger's on 4, Game Shakers is on 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it mixed up.
Yeah. But season 4 of Henry Danger still has Dan Schneider on it, but season 5 will be the first one without him, and I'm really interested in what's gonna happen, if even anything.
You know what? I'll return. I'll return to Henry Danger and give it a chance this 5th season, because I don't know if they're gonna try to copy Dan Schneider to the point where it's just a bad Dan Schneider ripoff, or if they're gonna do something interesting with the show. Probably not, but I mean.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
should we talk about... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, he doesn't really, like, direct any episodes. He's just kind of, like, there. So I don't think it's going to change too much.
Yeah. Because they still have the other creator on there, I believe. What was his name? Dan something?
Dana Olsen.
Olsen, yeah. Okay, maybe it won't change much then.
Yeah. What were you going to say? Maybe we should mention something else.
Should we talk about the horrific, I mean horrific, Go Anime Nickelodeon crossover?
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. That's the last show we have to cover.
What happened?
It's not even, like, announced if this is canceled or not, first of all. Of course, we're talking about the adventures of Kid Danger.
Right.
There's a reason why this show is so badly animated. I don't know if you saw it. It's because
No, I haven't.
Nickelodeon gave it like, since they thought, oh, it's like our sitcoms, they gave it like a $0 budget.
But you can't do that with animation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it needs a much bigger budget. It needs a lot more time. They gave it like no time too. They gave it like 7 months.
Hmm.
7 months, like that's not even like an
You
episode for
can't
most
you
shows,
can't make a, you can't make a season in 7 months. I mean, you
unless you're
could if
South
you had the
Park.
money and team, but I mean, no. For a new series where you have to come up with a unique art style and a unique way that everything has to
Yeah,
look,
that's true.
that's based on a TV show. You can't do that, so they had to do the most generic thing. I understand it now. Okay.
Yeah. So it could have been better. Like, have you seen
Still doesn't
the web
excuse it,
comics?
but the web comics, I thought they were like fan comics.
Okay, well
Like,
they're better animated than this is, so you can't complain.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
um, but there's only 10 episodes ordered, and there's already 5 aired, so this might be done like before summer.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's going away.
it's
They have the
just
sitcom, but what's the purpose for the cartoon?
yeah. It's just like it's sad that this is, part of the Nicktoons line. It's kind of a
Is it?
disgrace.
Oh God, I can't wait for Nicktoons Unite 5 featuring Kid Danger,
Oh my God.
SpongeBob SquarePants, and Zack and Cody guest stars from third parties,
And Sakurai.
and Sakurai.
Um, but yeah, that's all of Dan Schneider's shows that were on Nickelodeon. He also made 2 other shows I would just like to bring up. Guys Like Us, and then What I Like About You. I've never seen either of them, but I know What I Like About You had Amanda Bynes in it, so that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
But I've never seen either of them, so I can't really talk.
Neither have I. The only thing I know about it's the one piece of trivia you brought up about
Mm.
Amanda Bynes.
Yeah. Um, but that we actually might be seeing more of those because he's gone from Nickelodeon. He could go to another network and make more shows, and maybe since he's gonna be under a different, like a different management, it might actually be like better. Like this could actually be good for Dan Schneider, kind of like with Butch Hartman.
No, Nick. What you're gonna see,
Nick.
and I'm calling it right now. Dan Schneider is gonna get a deal with Netflix to create All That too. Except it's not gonna be called All That. It's gonna be called This Is All That.
That all.
That all.
That all.
All of this.
Or you mean all of that?
And it's gonna feature what's his name? The guy from Pixels, Adam Sandler.
Oh my
Adam
God.
Sandler's gonna be the main character. We're gonna get Kevin James in there. We're gonna have a mall cop portion. We're just gonna have a disaster. I don't know.
You're hurting me. But it has to be a spin-off, so you have to have like what's his face? You have to have the short kid from Game Shakers. Benjamin Flores, you gotta have him in there.
We got him.
Yeah.
We got Miranda Cosgrove.
Gotta have
We got
Gibby.
Drake Bell.
Gibby.
No, we have Josh Peck, but the new Josh Peck who vlogs and does stupid YouTube stuff now.
Yeah. And then like apparently Gibby's like some like internet meme now. Like his like do you hear about that? He has like a video about like playing poker or something.
No, I
Yeah.
gotta see that.
It's not actually Gibby. It's like it's the man, Noah Noah something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I kind of wanted to just go into a little bit of the hashtag drama alert, conspiracies and all that shit. So there have been many conspiracies about why he's leaving. Some say he was fired. Some say that like he was like it was like a mutual agreement. But there were actually a few reasons. I'm reading this article, not article, but it's a Twitter page, and it's called Nick and More, and they posted about how like Dan Schneider took a $7 million payout to leave, and that he had actually been like the victim of false online smears, which those are referencing like the foot fetish stuff and how it like comes into his shows, and that his exit comes amid a change of management at the network, which means that Nickelodeon could have asked him to leave. And then there was also a disagreement over Game Shaker's ending. So I think despite if he was going to leave or not, Game Shakers would have still been ending. And then there was a fight over studio space. So basically they weren't treating Dan Schneider like the alumni that he had been treated as. Like
He's not royalty,
Yeah. Yeah, so
Which Dan Schneider had a place. He basically had the throne of Nickelodeon.
mhm.
He was their golden boy for a while. And once his show started dropping ratings, he kind of didn't get that treatment. And with the new management, I can understand new management. It's going to be completely different. And Dan Schneider probably didn't like that. Mom probably would have left. I don't know what to say for him.
Yeah. But this could be good. If not for Dan Schneider, then for Nickelodeon. I mean, Butch Hartman's gone. Dan Schneider's gone. Like, all we really have left now is, like, Steven Hillenburg.
Yeah, and he just came back.
Yeah.
Or back to work on SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Which has gotten better.
Yeah, it has gotten better. It's in season 11 right now.
It's definitely not as bad as it was before, but it's definitely getting better.
Yeah, like, season 9 took 5 years to air, and then season 10 had, like, a 6-month period. And now we're in season 11. But anyway, this could be good. Like, two huge, like, literally huge, like, they've both been here for 20 plus years, just left. So that's a very big deal. There have also been, like, some talks about the president of Nickelodeon leaving. Sima or Sima something.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, like, really big stuff could happen in the coming months. We're also getting a lot more revivals, which could be a discussion in itself. Like, those are a good thing for us, but, like, a bad thing for the business, because they're relying on nostalgia. But if they really want to rely on nostalgia, then they'll make some crossover some crossover movie between, like, all of Dan's shows. Which
they could do that. Maybe bring Dan Schneider back in like 10 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since he's gone, the possibilities of that have gone from, like, 90% chance to, like, 30.
0.
Yeah, 30 to 0, or 0 to 30.
We didn't even get something like the Butch Hartman crossover where he had, like, a YouTube video for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like Timmy, Danny Phantom, it was Jerome Bunsen, Tuffy and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, there was kind of something like that, like at the 2014 Kids' Choice Awards. Dan Schneider got his Lifetime Achievement Award, and then, like, a bunch of actors and actresses from his shows, like, went on stage. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be the most that we're gonna get. And I remember I was freaking out when I saw that. Like, they had, like, literally everyone there live from all of his shows, up to Sam and Cat. That was, like, right before Henry Danger aired.
I like that I can smile at something like that. you know? Because, controversy or not, this guy still was the head of some of your favorite shows that you grew up with.
Yeah, he's like... he's like the face of children's television. Like, not the face, but, like... No, I would say children's... Okay. Live-action kid shows as a whole.
I wouldn't say the face, I'd say the name. Cause
the name, thank you.
Big letters before every single,
Not many people actually know his face, I think.
Yeah.
Like...
But think about it, like, the 30 minutes that your parents didn't want to raise you, Dan Schneider was doing it himself.
Yeah. Like, if you think of, like, kids' live-action shows, you're gonna think of, like, Drake and Josh and iCarly first, probably.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe, like...
Disney ones.
Yeah.
In the 90s as well, but, for Nickelodeon's side, Drake and Josh and iCarly, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really upsetting that he's leaving. Actually, no, I want to bring up one more thing. He did have a lot of variety in his programming. I feel like throughout every single show that he did, there was something different going on. Like, he had a sketch show and all that. He had, like, a pair and... Actually, no, not all of them.
And all of that.
Yeah, because Kenan Kel was a pair. Amanda's show was a sketch show again. Drake and Josh was a pair again. Zoey 101 was a drama. iCarly was about, like, the internet, which was... I mean, it wasn't new at the time, but it was, like, not a TV show. Victorious was, like, It was like a performing arts school, which was pretty interesting. Sam and Cat was another pair thing, but it was like babysitting, which wasn't original, I guess. Henry Danger was a superhero show, which isn't original, but Dan Schneider, Zing. Game Shakers was about video games. I don't remember if there's another show about that. I feel like there was
Wasn't
a
there
Cartoon
another one on
Network.
Disney?
I feel like there was a Cartoon Network live action show. Remember those? About it. And no, I don't know if there was one on Disney. At the time. Now they have Bizarrevarks, which is actually more like iCarly.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
And then Kid Danger was his first animated show, which was interesting. Interesting. In
Ooh.
heavy apostrophe there, or not apostrophe. What the fuck is that called? Like a star emoji thing. Not emoji. What? Star symbol.
Pound?
Whatever you call it. Pound. I don't know.
No, that's the number. We're millennials.
Yeah, exactly. Hashtag.
That's what it is.
But yeah, so Dan Schneider will definitely be missed. I mean, there were just I don't know. It seems like there was a bunch of different things that were going on for him leaving, but he's definitely like one of the faces of Nickelodeon. And it won't be the same without him. Like, actually, like the future for their sitcoms is actually pretty up in the air because after Henry Danger ends, like, what's gonna happen? Like, is there still gonna be like, because this might be the end of like the all that tree is what they call it, where like every show is a spin-off. This could be the end of that, or we could see probably another creator take one of the characters from one of those two shows, likely from Henry Danger. We might see another show from characters from that and make it a new thing.
I actually have two predictions for the future of Nickelodeon at this point.
What are they?
One would be, they're bringing back a whole bunch of creators from old cartoon shows, like Joe Murray for Rocko's Modern Life, Joe and Vasquez for The Invaders Zim movie, and who created Arnold?
Craig Bartlett.
Yes, they bring him back for that movie. Do you think, maybe not a revitalization of these properties, but do you think they'll keep the creators for a little bit longer? Say, hey, make us a pilot. If we like it, we'll pick it up. So maybe we'll start seeing more cartoons because the Loud House is passing SpongeBob, or sometimes, but it's still passing SpongeBob in a way. So that means cartoons are getting a little bit more popular than they were back then. Star versus the Forces of Evil. Gravity Falls was really popular for a while before he had ended. But maybe there's a future in cartoons. My second prediction would be something like maybe it's a renaissance for sitcom shows for Nickelodeon. Much like Disney, where Disney back then, or not back then, in the mid-2000s, were focusing more on comedy. Comedy and music. Pair of Kings, Austin and Ally, Jesse, most of them were about comedy and whatnot, but now with something like Andy Mack, that's a really different show than their past, sitcoms.
Have you seen a lot of Andy Mack?
I've seen a few.
I've seen the whole show. It's fantastic. It's a little cheesy, but it's really, really good.
Yeah, and they tackle a lot of. It's a lot different what you'd expect a Disney Channel show.
Yeah. So
what if we see something like that from Nickelodeon, where it's something that's not Big Time Rush, that's not Dan Schneider, it's not
Naked Brothers
some
Band.
other. Well, no, I'll put that the same as Big Time Rush, but
True.
What if it's not any of those and it's something different?
I mean, both of those are popular. Like, them going in a more animated direction, I don't think is really gonna happen much. I mean, they do have like 7 animated shows in the works right now. But for sitcoms, I did notice that a few weeks ago they actually announced that they're making, not a few weeks, actually like a week ago, they announced that they were actually going to make a reboot for Clarissa Explains It All, which was a popular 90s show. So maybe they're trying to like bring that back up to fill in the gap of Dan Schneider.
Focusing on nostalgia to fix the wounds. Okay, I can get that.
Yeah.
Something like what Disney did with Boys Meets World or Raven's Home or something.
Yeah, Raven's Home is actually a really good show. I like that. Like, Disney Channel is actually like doing really good with sitcoms right now.
Oh yeah, I'm very surprised.
Except for
honestly.
Bizarre Barks. And
That's a discussion for another time.
Both Bunked and Bizarre Barks need to end.
I
Like,
agree.
I
Wait,
actually
the
like.
Bunked one is still going on? What?
Yeah, I think it's about to end.
Is that the Jesse spinoff?
Yep.
It needs to end right now.
Yeah, right. So I guess that's it. Dan Schneider, you will be missed, and I will follow you. Not in a creepy way. I will follow your future works, though.
I'll follow your Twitter page. If you announce something, I'll look at it.
At Dan Warp. He was
But
afraid.
no, I will.
He was afraid that too many people would misspell his last name, so he made it Dan Warp.
Dan Warp?
Yeah,
What does that have to do with Snyder? No, I'm just kidding.
that's like his Twitter page. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're right.
Got it.
I don't know why. All right, what were you saying?
Basically just wanted to say, yeah, I'll actually really miss Dan Snyder and some of his stuff. You know, he was a big part of my childhood and whatnot, but I just hope wherever he goes, he becomes a better human, a better person, and I hope he tries something new or finds something that he likes to do.
Yeah, like I think it definitely is time though, and I'm kind of
Right.
commending Nickelodeon on this decision.
I mean, think about it. 20 years, you're gonna see the same content on the same network.
Yep. But yeah, I guess that's it. We went for a lot longer than I thought we would.
I mean, I thought this was gonna be like a 20-minute discussion.
Yeah, me too. But I guess this is more like our other one.
Yeah.
All right, well, Damien, where can people find you on the internet?
You guys can find me on my Twitter page at DamienMarquez5 on Twitter.
Awesome.
That's about it.
Yeah, and then I have a Twitter too. It's notsoepicdude, same as my account name. So yeah, like this seems to. I mean, this is now our third one. We have a second one still coming out. So I guess this is gonna be like, I don't know if it's gonna be a regular thing. It just seems like it's just gonna be mostly for like news that comes out, and there just happens to be a lot of news lately. So
If you guys have any suggestions and what you want us to talk about, we'd be glad to hear it in the comments. So.
yeah, you guys can suggest all that shit. So yeah, I guess till next time. I will see you guys next time. Later, folks.
See you later.